Hey everyone, DuckNuck84 here, back with more Broken Sword. In the last episode, we made our way to Ireland and pretty much interrogated everybody in the bar here and found out that the dig over at the castle hasn't been continued and pretty much everyone's packed up. And the professor seems to have skipped out on his bill.
Hey, McGuire.
What?
Let's see if you have anything new to say about the dig, because we also found out that they think there's a ghost, and we might have solved that mystery by two of the people seeing each other at night and each thinking each other was the ghost.
Do you know anything about Pegram's dig?
He wouldn't let me anywhere near it. I offered to help, but he chased me off. I didn't want to see his smelly old hole anyhow.
He probably chased you off because you have proven less to be honest and tend to be a pathological liar, so...
Did anyone from the village work at the dig?
Pegram bought some students and bums with him. He reckoned no one in Lochmarn would know what to look for. The only local guy who worked for him was Sean Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald says he's never been anywhere near the dig.
He's having you on, mister.
See, that's what we needed right there, is because he said... The shifty-looking guy in the bar said that he wasn't at the dig, but like McGuire just here said, he was.
What do you think this wire could be used for?
Choking somebody?
Stealing cars. There's only one problem.
The local policeman?
No. Nobody in Lochmarn has got a car.
Then how do you all get around?
See you later, kid.
Well, I guess
Okay, mister.
it's a small enough village that you could pretty much walk. We have something to do here with the power.
I tugged at the plastic cover, but it didn't move.
Okay, well, means that we can't do anything with that yet. Well, let's confront Mr. Shifty here. Let's keep on looking at his watch.
McGuire says he saw you working at the dig. What's more, he saw you talking with Pegram.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Do I look like the Social
What makes
Security?
you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he?
I didn't even notice that package right there. So what happened to Pegram?
So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
And who's this Marquet
Show me
then?
what's in the package, Sean.
I'm thinking it's a gem.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
Just let me
It's
see
your
it.
last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
The man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
Who's this Marquet then?
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you?
'Cause I'm
I
American.
don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem.
And out he goes.
Hey, I just seen a big red...
Get out of here, McGuire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out!
Why, they don't even care.
Little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Well, let's go see.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business,
when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. "Would you look at that?" says I, and I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass, but the car just flies at him.
Oh!
Too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. "Jesus," says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Ah, it was Khan, because he did say that, or the costume dealer did say that he rented a clown and a pixie costume. That, and I think they changed a little bit of that scene too, because I could have sworn that, was it Fitzgerald or whatever, he had a bloody nose when, after he got hit in the original, and alluding to the fact that he always said that he always got in fights and ended up with a bloody nose, so it was kind of a continuation of that trend, but again, looks like they might have changed that. Or I could be wrong, like I said, 15 years since I've played it, so I can't remember everything. But yeah, so we got this off.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
Okay.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Again, I think I remember what we got to do. Let's talk to the barkeep again.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I have another beer,
I
please?
think we have to do this.
Sir. Same again?
Yeah, please. How is this stuff made?
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honored fashion, suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I can fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working.
And there it
It's
goes.
not my idea, is it?
No, it's not. Well, I just so happen to have this pass saying that I'm an electrician.
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Okay.
When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Yeah, so let's see what we got here. Let's look at this stuff first.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug.
That did nothing. Oops. Okay, I guess that's...
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
Okay.
It was an electric glass
Yeah,
washer.
we know that.
It was an electrical plug attached to the glass washer.
Okay, let's see. I think we got to do this. Or not.
It was a short piece of wire twisted into a rough circle.
I remember we had to do something with the wire, but let's see.
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Okay, maybe we have to use the wire on the electrical plug then.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire.
There we go.
I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions.
Besides, if it burns
Excuse me,
down, I'm
Mr.
not going to be
Leary.
back.
I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Yeah, you'll have a riot of all 4 people, and only 2 of them are drinking. Okay. Nice rat there. Don't bother me, and I won't bother you, and actually it makes me less likely to want to drink the beer.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Okay, so now we gotta go back up, and now we should be able to lift this up.
I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about doing it. Ah, it's Khan!
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he
Permanently.
dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
Don't worry, Khan. I'll find you guilty for justice. But now, let's do the more important thing. Let's fix those beer pumps.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor.
Yep, that's what we were looking for.
It was Peagrim's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
That I can do.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Although I don't think I'm ever going to give him his packet of chips. What do we got here?
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Not good.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Okay, what? I think... Didn't we have to... Yeah, I think that's what we had to do.
The slow drip of water barely dampened the towel.
I know we have to turn it on.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Now we have the wet towel.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Okay, now I remember we had to do something with this.
The slow drip...
No, that's not it. What did we have to do? Or maybe it was combined it with... No?
Maybe not.
Or the gem, maybe.
It was a rectangle of toweling, printed with the towel was soaked through with water.
Okay, no, that's... So maybe there's something else we got to do, because I don't think there's anything else down here. Maybe... Don't try this at home. No, that's not it. Okay, so maybe we have to go up to the castle now. Talk to this fine folk here.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no.
No, he speaks
what I would
Irish.
say no. An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice.
Maybe it's both.
What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. Ah, but if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
Well, good for its
Have
600
you seen
years.
Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
And what
Did
about
you
a red
happen to see a
Ferrari?
red
Did you see
sports
it?
car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
That or he was trying to kill
The
someone.
driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Well, it was Fitzpatrick or
Maybe
whatever.
you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
You don't even care.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
True. Not going to catch a Ferrari with a bike.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
No, because I need that haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvellous. I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
With a good pint, but too bad they're broken.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Well, there's no contemplation at all. We're going to climb this sucker.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
What? That doesn't make sense, at least to me. Can I use maybe this to help climb up? No, that doesn't work. The wet towel, maybe. Nope, that's not going to work. So it's here that I need to use something. That's what maybe it is. There we go.
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
It's a good thing I carried that all the way from Paris. Hello, goat. Let's see if it will still do it. And... yeah, he's still gonna hit me. He's the obstacle for my progression. Why there's a goat in here, I don't know, but... let's see. And this, I think. Yeah. Gotcha,
rope on
goat.
which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
Now I can just go on and you can't get me. And now we're in a little temple of some sort. What do we got here?
There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately.
And what do we got here? That's actually new, because you never really saw what it was in the original one. You just saw it looked like a little weird figure.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
Well, that is exactly what I needed it to do.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Okay, well, we will leave that there, because what we got to do is grab this.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Well, George there just spelled out exactly what we're going to be doing. We are going to... okay, I actually have to... in the old one, you would just put it there and then be able to do it, but now with the new part, they made it, I guess, a little easier to look at. So what we got to do is take the plaster of Paris, put it there.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
And then we take the wet bar towel.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
Although I would think it would need a little bit more water for it to actually, you know, I don't know what you'd call it, you know, congeal the rest, that much plaster.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Well, at least the back pins on the statue. I wouldn't say a perfect copy of the statue.
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
And you're lucky they didn't get chopped off, because that's usually what happens when you put your fingers in holes in these type of adventures.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Well, let's go down then. It's a good thing I grabbed that flashlight. Montfaucon. Okay, this is a new part as well. We are not touching the radio. Any new messages for me?
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me,
Your favorite editor? Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slàinte. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Yeah, no.
Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Merlin's the killer. I'd better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
I have a feeling that she's already going to be dead.
I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
It probably is too late.
Locked? No way was I going to break through a door like that.
Well, can you ring us in, maybe?
The system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
Well, I think I might have to do the exact same thing.
I unhooked the first wire.
And now for the second.
I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
This is easy enough to figure out because it looks like a set of steps. Yep.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
And now up we go. Same way the killer went.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Come on, it can't be that bad. Bobby pin.
No.
Fine. Key.
No.
The bullet shell. Really? Who needs multi-tools when you have a crunched bullet shell? Solves every problem. Again, it's lower there, but higher there. Oh, at least there's nothing to steal, nothing to look at. Dark room, that's not a good sign. There's nothing over here, so she must be in the study then.
My God, I'm too late.
The mime is struck again. Or the pixie or the clown. I don't know what costume he's wearing now.
Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be alright.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes.
I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
And you're dead.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why?
Because she is French. Or maybe not, I don't know if she's French.
Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
And I guess that's just the locket.
I opened it.
To hold the
Inside
tiniest
was
key.
A tiny gold key.
That doesn't look gold there, it looks silver, or steel, or something.
I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Not even going to call the police. Well, I think I know what that key is for. Remember this box in here that said it has a tiny keyhole, but we never had a key for it. And it was the same as the carved elephant. Well, I
In the
think...
dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
I was going to say, and we picked that up before and you didn't notice it?
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
We just walked across the legs of that chair. And I have no idea where we just threw that. In the garbage, in the toilet, outside. Anyway. We have this box.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key.
Well, now it does.
It was a perfect match to Carchon's.
Now we have a key for it.
I took out the key.
And with my luck, it's going to be a decoded letter!
I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
A picture of her, I think.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box. I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father.
My father was a murderer.
There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come.
Well, let's see what it is. And... okay, good.
Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you are really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No, they'll just give you a funny job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die.
So she was an adulterer as well.
Everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all.
And that's probably how he got killed.
Must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
That, and because then we have to not have to record new lines that will add to the game. Or explain things in the game, I guess. At least that's my thinking.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead.
And you say Pegram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Wait, who was the dead guy I shared the room with?
Pegram's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Which they only showed in the cutscene, because again, I think in the original, you could actually look down there, even though you couldn't see much, because I think you needed some other things. And we're not going to look at that, because I think that does it again. I still have some plaster of Paris and the gem.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
And...
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
Okay, I don't think we already gone over any of that, except for the plaster of Paris.
A handful of plaster.
That I keep in my pocket.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
Because we're men.
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
Especially if it's plaster of Paris. Well, I think that is
I can't sit
it
here
for
all
here.
Day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobineau at the Krone Museum. And why don't you see if Rousseau has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government, and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Yeah. So if that's the extent of the added stuff, I have to say that it wasn't that great. But we'll see if they've added anything else. So I think I'm going to end that right here. We got through the rest of Ireland and moved the story along quite a bit, I think. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.